Hello, I'm Tina Abayomi-Paul of freetraffictip.com. Today I just want to go over a few quick tips for saving time with social media. I know it's frustrating because I have what some people are referring to as social media fatigue, having so many different tools to work with and thinking, how am I going to fit this all into my day? And I guess it's part of having to market your own site and your own products and services is learning how to manage your time so that you can still do the things that bring you more money and more success, but still also do the things that keep you in that success, which is, of course, to do your job. So, without any further ado, let's look at some of the things that you can do to save time with social media. First of all, one of the things that really blows my mind is how much content there is everywhere. Somebody's always writing a blog post and you respond, and there's just so many things to keep track of. So one thing that I find helps me a lot is streamlining my sharing. First of all, I only do it during one part of the day if I can help it. And if I can't help it and I find things as I discover them, I use all the shortcuts I possibly can to share them in all the different places that I want to share them. Also try not to share things in too many different places if I can help it. I will share things on the main tools that I use, and I have kind of a hierarchy where it will go something like Facebook, Google+, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. And it doesn't necessarily always go in that order because, of course, there's also StumbleUpon. There's a whole bunch of different places where I share content. But in so doing, I make sure that there's the main places that I'm going to hit and try not to share things in more than 2 places. I also try to work with, as I said before, a long list of things and places where I'm going to share things and try to stick to that as much as I can. The next thing that helps me, I would say, more than any other thing is leaning on the tools. And I don't just mean things that help you do things automatically, because I'm not actually a huge fan of automation. There's some things that I think it's great to automate. Wow, that rhymes. And there's other things that I feel it's just too much. It's supposed to be something of a human touch. So these tools are supposed to be bringing us closer together. So why in the world are we using them to plug into other tools to the point where there's no human interaction at all? That's puzzling to me. Why should we do that? But there are some things that can be very helpful. There are tools out there that will consolidate all the times you've been mentioned online and Twitter so that you can go back at one time of day and respond to everybody instead of having to pop in and out. There are things that will help you bring your blog post into more than one platform. I like the ones that help me get my blog posts into Facebook. As much as I like Facebook Notes, it's been wonky for like the past year. So I have this nice little plugin called Add Link to Facebook. Very weird, dumb, generic name, but the tool is fantastic. It basically builds an app that all it does is share your posts into Facebook. It can do a lot of synchronizing and gives it a nice professional layout for your posts. It can use your logo, it can use pictures from your posts. It's a really neat tool. But because I have a WordPress blog, I have the luxury of plugging in those little extras that they incidentally call plugins and installing things that help me save time. But there are also places where I don't feel that a lot of automation is a good thing. I will bring my tweets into LinkedIn. However, when I share in groups, I always do it manually. I always go and find a post and match it, and then try to find a group that goes with it rather than just sending all the information I have to every group. I think it clogs up the stream and makes it to the point that nobody wants to share anything anymore. Same thing with Business Exchange. I'm not even sure if there's a way to automate sharing there, but I have a very deliberate system and reason for sharing things that I share in Business Week's Business Exchange. So some automation is good too much is probably counterproductive. If you're overwhelming your stream, nobody's reading your news. Trust me. There's nothing worse than getting unsubscribed or having to unsubscribe somebody because it's just too much flood of information coming at you. Be aware of when is the best timing to send things out. There are rush hours on every site. There are even tools out there now. Super does one that's customized to you. su.pr, stumble upon's link shortener, is what Super is. And there's a tool called Timely that will help you spread out your tweets over the course of a day. So if you find 5 things you want to tweet about, instead of having to sit there and try to manually space them out, you can send them out to Timely in one shot, and it'll space those things out for you. My final tip in social media is to learn how to play the field. Try new tools from time to time, In fact, pick 5 that really speak to you and narrow it down to maybe 1 or 2. I got married to Facebook for the longest time, and it was the main tool that I used. But over time, it just wasn't meeting my needs anymore, and as the tool changed, there were some great things about it, and it's really still a big source of traffic, but there are things about it that just made it difficult for me to still advocate it as my top tool, so I switched things around, which it helps to keep flirting once you're already married. Now, of course, these tips don't exactly translate to real life, so please don't tell someone that I told you to keep dating or flirting once you got married. Although I'm a big believer in the fact that a little flirting never hurt anybody. But again, this is social media I'm talking about. Please don't get me in trouble. At any rate, even after you've picked 1 or 2 top tools that you just love, keep looking around for, glance at some of the new stuff. Google Plus is one of the things that's newer right now. It looks promising, but I'm still flirting with it. I don't know how much I want to use it as a permanent tool, and it's been out to the public for a couple of days. You shouldn't have to decide either, and don't feel like that pressure to make a decision right now because it's new and it's hot and everybody's doing it. You can wait. It'll be okay. So, that's it in a nutshell. Streamline your sharing, lean on the tools. Some automation is good, too much is bad idea. Be aware of how much time you're spending. Try to put it at the beginning of the day or the end of the day if you can. Set a timer. Pay attention to timing. And be a flirt. Be a social media flirt. Try 5 tools. Dedicate yourself to the top 2. Dabble in the others. And then keep your search for the perfect social media tool for you alive. Because eventually it will come along, and you can always, divorce yourself from the one you're with when the great one comes along. Please, this is not dating advice. Please don't get me in trouble. It's a beautiful day wherever you are. Hope you're having a good one.